When he called me and said, I think it's lymphoma, I was like, okay, this has got real serious. And that size, I was like, how have I not felt this? Like, this is big. We think something started actually a year and a half before I actually went to the prom care. And that's when I got really tired. 6 months goes by and I've been treated for the sleep apnea and I'm still scoring really low. And like, wow, you're really tired. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm here. Like, I can't figure it out. I think it was March or April of 2020, I got really itchy. And then fast forward to July, I started having I had a cough and some chest pain. The chest pain was weird in that it would come every day at the same time. I was like, I'm just gonna go. Let's go get it checked out.
Before we officially found out, I think in my heart I knew he had it, just because leading up to it, he had the chest pain and he had the x-ray, and then when the radiologist called him and said, you should really get this checked out, this is kind of what we think it might be.
He called me directly on my cell phone, was like, hey, this is serious. I think you need to get it worked up. And I think you should do it pretty fast. I think it's lymphoma. I remember exactly where we sat in the waiting room next to a fish tank. I remember meeting Dr. Gerstner, who had came very highly regarded.
Jake was very upbeat from the beginning. Obviously had anxieties that people normally have, and they're going through a new diagnosis and not knowing what to expect from treatments.
One of the things we talked to Dr. Gerstner about were like survival rates. So first of all, it was stage 4, and then I had some other factors that made it unfavorable. The thought of, okay, what if I am one of those 20%? And that's when I really started thinking that I'm kind of mad at the way I chose to live my life up until that point. I realized how much I sacrificed to get where I was professionally, but I wasn't where I wanted to be personally.
Now we have the official diagnosis. And so from there, it was like, all right, now what? Now what do we need to do? We have to go through the emotions of telling people. And I think that was really hard.
I got to tell my staff, and I was particularly really close to one of my MOAs who had worked with my dad for like 16 years before.
The most memorable person I remember telling was my mom. She lost her dad when she was really young, about in her teens. And then I remember my mom started crying, which of course then made me cry. And I think she was thinking of my girls and me. You have all this information, but now you got to go tell people about it.
It wasn't but a week later when we told the staff, and next thing I know, the day of my first treatment, they brought in a big basket full of like all these goodies, blankets, massagers. I didn't cry, but another hug or something, it could have came out. So then it was, we're gonna have treatment on Thursday afternoons. What does that mean for kids, family, dinner, things like that? And one of the things that Tori did so well during this is I didn't have to worry about anything.
I don't think there was any question that we were just gonna stop life, because you don't stop life. You've tried to figure out what you're going to do with life with the information that you have.
My cousin Zach McAllister is a baseball player.
The 2-2. He struck him out. Oh,
and so what was interesting with the timing of everything was he had just and was going through 2 serious injuries that were career-threatening to him. He had just gone through all this adversity, and now I'm facing this adversity. And he made it a point where every Thursday before chemo, we would do lunch together. We made a point to take a picture of each time we did it with our fingers holding up the treatment number we had.
I said this every day, that he was going through treatment, was like, we take it one day at a time. Live in the moments of that day. There's nothing better than what you have right there at that moment, one day at a time.
There's a lot of research, there's a lot of treatments out there that have made it almost curable. And so I didn't really ever question where I was going to go or who I was going to see. It's okay, I'm going to Illinois Cancer Care. Who am I going to see? And it worked. And I'm not surprised.
Really, the limitations are probably the hardest part that you have to adapt to and know and hope that things will get better.
Having the know-it-all to say, hey, these are our options, and 2 of those options you might have a higher risk of neuropathy. And so that kind of stood out to me as, okay, he's thinking of me not just as another patient, but okay, he's got a life outside of this that we need to plan for.
He was so comfortable going, and they were so great to him.
And it's very cliche, like anytime you hear about, life-threatening event, how they change, I don't really care that it's cliche, because that's exactly how I felt and how I still feel, because now I think I'm living a much better life because of that.